Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna do another Let's Play after Renewal, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you need the content. So this time is Sora's turn. After all, she has her new leader skill, visual update, skill update. It is a really hefty renewal, so we gotta check it. So, starting with the skills. As you know, Sora is a protected human, and now, checking the skills, she's going to have a new leader skill that is. It doesn't have a name. Interesting. Using certain skills, fires Foxfire. Fires Foxfire, okay. That tracks enemies. Each time Foxfire hits an enemy, Heavenly Punishment is applied, and it can stack up to 5 times. So, what exactly is Heavenly Punishment? So, for that, we need to check the debuff list, and Heavenly Punishment increases damage taken by the enemy for 3%, increases the damage taken by 3%, decreases the speed by 3%, and decreases critical resistance by 2% per stack. So that's gonna be a maximum of 15% damage increase to the enemy, 15% speed reduction to the enemy, and 10% critical rate resistance reduction to the enemy. At 10%. Yeah, that's pretty good, guys. I mean, it is a pretty decent buff, honestly. I like what they did over here. Now, what else do we have? Well, we have the update to all the skills, and for that, let me just check the notes. So, the performance of Sora has been adjusted as follows. The visual effects animations, area of effect, and damage of some skills have been changed. A new unique skill has been added, which we already checked. A character unique debuff has been added. Yeah, Heavenly Punishment, that's right. The delay before using a skill, Visage Art Fox Goat Arrow, has been reduced, which is nice. Visage Fox Arrow, this one. So it takes less time in order to use your skill, which is nice. Then, the delay before using Visage Art God's Maw has been reduced. Nice, that also takes less time. And I honestly notice it because basically the moment she raises the hand completely, it immediately goes down. I like that. It is way faster. The slot effect of the skill Kuramochi Archery Shosen has been partially altered. So let's go to Shosen over here. And let's see, which one? Assist, set main, shoot 4 additional arrows. Now shoot 2 additional fire shots. Foxfire shots. So, yeah. On green, this is going to be able to inflict the debuff. That's what it did. They reduced the extra arrows in order to provide the debuff on green, which is nice. Let's see, what else? The next one. The effect and slot effect of a skill Firefox has been partially changed. Firefox? This one over here. So previously, increases speed. The basic effect was increases speed for 6 seconds and add 2 homing attacks to every attack when doing an extreme dodge. Now increases speed for 6 seconds and shoots 2 additional Firefox shots to every attack when doing an extreme dodge. So basically, this is a generic way to inflict Firefox. So you can use this on any color. This one is only for green, the Firefox, but this is on any color, which is nice. What else? Basic effect, yeah. And also, they changed the colors, it seems. On assist, shoot 1 additional arrow. Now shoots 1 additional Foxfire shot. Which, I mean, makes sense. They only give this skill, the Firefox property, on green. Additionally, which is fine. Then, on protect, increases damage of the arrow by 100%, increases damage of the Foxfire arrow by 100%, and On red, restores 3% of damage dealt by the arrow. Restored 3% of damage dealt by the Firefox arrow. Okay, okay. So, I mean, that's fine. Basically, it all revolves around the Firefox on this skill, which is appreciated. Basically, you're gonna need this particular skill if you don't have the Renewal weapon in most builds, if you want to take advantage of the debuff, which is not that bad, honestly. Then, the next one, which is this one. The effect and slot effect of Flare of Grudge has been changed. Yeah, the only issue I have with this is that we have the renewal of Flare of Grudge, which it is amazing what they did to this skill. So let's check it super quickly. The basic effect used to be reflect 50% of damage taken for 6 seconds when doing an extreme dodge, but not anymore. During an extreme dodge, grants increased damage and speed for 6 seconds and acquires super armor. The duration is extended by 4 seconds when the slot effect is applied. Good duration, good buffs, and super armor to a character that really doesn't want to get hit, but since it is very fragile, it's appreciated that it doesn't get interrupted and it can just escape in case of an emergency. It's really, really nice. And that's just the base effects. Now, let's check what other changes they did. So, on assist. It used to be increases damage by 30% for 10 seconds. Now, increases speed by another 5%. It is nice. It is, I mean, you think, what? My 30% attack, but what happened to it? Well, now it's integrated into every single color. It is pretty good. I mean, they don't say the numbers, but I assume it's something along the lines of that. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20, maybe it's the 30 that they just took from this skill. I do think that it is a big number, but I don't know exactly which. Let me know in the comments if you do the numbers. Now, on Protect, increases reflected damage by 40%. Now increases critical rate by another 15%. Pretty nice critical rate increase. Not really necessary, but it can be used. I mean, the blue isn't the crit skill, but I mean, a buff is a buff and it is appreciated. Then, on Suppress, increases defense by 30% for 10 seconds, increases critical damage by 20%. That's the big one, guys. I mean, it is good on every single color, just because of the base effect, but on red, god, red is devastating, I can tell you that. It is disgustingly good. Now, let's check the next skill. So, the basic effect, wait a moment. What is this? Flare of Grudge. Yeah. And the next one. The effect and the slot effect of a skill Blinding Fox Flame has been changed. So, Blinding Fox Flame. This one. Yeah, that's another good one. That's another really good change. Because this was a counter that ensnared the enemy on one color. They really heard the recommendations that we gave them, guys. Like, they did sort of a really, really good update. So, what did they do over here? It says the basic effect dodges backwards and shoots a bomb that ensnares the enemy for 3 seconds. Dodges backwards and shoots a bomb that ensnares the enemy for 3 seconds. Duration is extended by 3 seconds when the slot effect is applied. Okay, that's nice. That's nice because 3 seconds is not that much of a duration. You really want them to stay ensnared. They just extended the duration. That's nice. It seems that it worked on every color of the snare. I mean, I haven't used it that much, as you can see. But now it's worth it. Previously, reduced the enemy damage on assist. It reduced the enemy damage by 20% for 10 seconds. Now it increases your speed by 20% for 10 seconds. Yes! It doesn't matter if you reduce the attack of the enemy when the enemy is not going to reach you. It is completely useless. But increasing your speed, that's actually useful. Nice. And you can see the pattern that assist is going to be the speed increase buff build. So That's nice. Protect. It previously increased the duration of the snare by 1 second. Yeah, that was the thing. Now it increases the damage by 20% for 10 seconds. Nice buff. Really appreciate it. The only issue is that you have to expose yourself to get this buff. You don't need it. You can use it, but you don't actually need it. But, I mean, do what you feel comfortable with. Besides, the good thing about this one is that it pairs perfectly with Fox God's Arrow. You can just take the hit because you're going to heal yourself with the Pure Color skill. This has HP recovery, so you gain a ton of advantage by using this combination. Honestly, it is nice that they thought about it. Now, the last change increases damage by 20% for 10 seconds. Now the arrows penetrate the enemies. I mean, it is a whatever effect. You don't want to use it for the most part. They changed the position of the buff, and it's definitely a good idea. I mean, we already have great buffs on red, so we don't need it over there. And if you want to use it on red, you're kind of forced to use Firefox so that you get the HP recovery. So in my opinion, it is a good decision. Now, let's see. The effect and slot effect of the skill of Firefox Oboroguruma has been partially changed. Let's go to Firefox Oboroguruma. Oboroguruma. This one. Oh yeah, okay. Well, it says basic effect: moves to a certain direction and shoots a cluster bomb that deals an area attack upon landing and shoots 3 homing arrows. Now it performs an area attack shooting 3 firefoxes and moves in a specified direction afterwards. Okay, so this is another skill that you can use on any color to apply Firefox. Thanks to the fact that it is a follow-up attack, it is pretty easy to use and you can activate this pretty fast. One thing that I should mention is that I don't think that there is duration. Was there a duration? Let's see. I didn't check the duration, or well, I didn't pay attention. It doesn't say for how long this lasts. Is this permanent? Wait a moment. I'm just going to use this. Okay, the enemy has the stack. Guys, this is disgustingly good. It is a permabuff. That's busted. God, I love it. Let's hope that they don't nerf that. It is amazing, and I love it. God, yeah. Which means you don't need to over rely right now at the moment of recording. If they don't decide to nerf this, you don't need to over rely on equipping too many skills that give you Foxfire. You can just equip one of them and you're gonna be fine for the most part. Unless there are a bunch of enemies. In that case, you do want multiple of those. But let's continue. We were with Oboroguruma. So, the other change is going to be the suppress set. So, shoots 2 additional arrows and now add 1 additional attack after moving. Yeah, I think it is that one that shoots some more Firefox. Okay, yeah, it is fine, I guess. But honestly, they did Sora a really, really good renewal. I'll just quickly review all the skills for everyone to know what they do. Besides, if you want to check the previous video on Sora, it will be useful, but let's go very quick. So Celestial Fox is the triple color skill. You want to use this on mixed builds, and it is extremely useful. For the longest time, this has been the skill that everyone says it is the best, and it deals as much damage, if not more, than any of the pure color skills. Now I can tell you that the pure color skills are nothing to scoff at. They are pretty good. But if you want to go with multiple colors, Celestial Fox is still a very valuable option, and it has a ton of multi-hit, so you can abuse some multi-hit effects with this one. God's Maw is the green critical rate skill. This one unfortunately doesn't give you a damage multiplier, but it has good base damage. And since it is in green, you can just put a ton of critical damage supporters, ignoring critical rate, and you will do explosive damage. Pretty nice. The cone area is actually very useful for farming, but you need to time it properly and you need to know when to use it, because if you're right in front of the cone, if the enemy moves ever so slightly, it might just miss, so careful with that. You want them to hit on the center. Then Chosen is the dash attack. Now Chosen has way longer range, and I really like this skill. It is the skill that can provide Foxfire on a big AoE to the enemies, but it also reduces the damage of the enemies. Honestly, they should have changed that. This is still not that great, but I mean, it's a whatever effect is a debot, and that's an activation condition for some supporters. And it also increases speed on red. We don't have that many sources of a speed increase on red right now, so it is appreciated. And I mean with Sora. Now, Foxfire, we just saw that it is a perfect dodge that is going to allow you to heal on red, apply a ton of stacks of Firefox, as well as add an additional stack of Firefox on green. So, not the best skill ever, but you can use it. And why do I say this? It used to be good. It used to be decent. And especially, it's still a good way to recover your HP on red. But we have a better option. You're going to see that with this command. So, as for Visage Art, Fox God's Arrow, this has the skill damage multiplier. It recovers HP. It is way faster than before. And thanks to that, you don't care about the small AoE, because you can just use this quickly. And just you reposition yourself after using Binding Fox Flame and dealing tremendous damage. It is amazing. So yeah, it is extremely good. I like the new synergies that we have over here. Then Oboroguruma. It is doable if you don't have the weapon. Probably the best skill that you can equip to Sora, to use the Firefox debuff if you don't have the weapon, the Renewal weapon, because the follow-up attack has a super short cooldown, and you can equip it with something else, like maybe Chosen on blue or red, and then you do Oboroguruma, and then you use your pure color skill, and then you use Oboroguruma, and then you cycle into those again. The basic enhancer, it's the same as before, and it's still pretty useful if you use Freykugel, because or you use an ulti spam skill. Honestly, I wouldn't be angry if they add the Firefox to the basics. That would have been nice, but alas, maybe that would be too OP, and they decided not to. I mean, it is a pretty solid skill because it provides speed increase. Then we have Yudachi over here. Yudachi, whew. So this skill has penetration, so it's going to attack the enemies behind. The movement pattern is always kind of weird, but it works. And the critical damage multiplier, it's going to be devastating with the new things in her kit. It is just amazing. I can tell you that. The thing is that you want to build her extremely aggressive to take advantage of this. And if you're worried about your HP, then use Firefox. Then, as for Binding Fox Flame, it is amazing. The jump, I don't know if the jump is the same. I think it's longer than before, and that is going to put you in a very safe spot. Not only that, the enemy is going to be ensnared and they are not going to move near you, and you can just use your damaging skills safe. It is super good now, because it is worthy to use, especially on blue, thanks to this combo. And Flare of Grudge. If not for this skill, Firefox would be the staple that you equip on every build. But no, we have Flare of Grudge, which tremendously increases your damage. It gives you super armor. If you're already just explosive damage, I mean, it is a whole package. And thanks to this skill, you will be able to use things like Melt or Kana to abuse buff damage increase. So yeah, that's a thing. Now, very quickly, let's go to Sora's banner. Sora's banner over here. Yeah, because we can see all of Sora's weapons. So, first of all, before we talk about the Renewal one, I want to highlight the previous ones. So, Sora can use the Momochi weapon. It is not the greatest thing ever. She's just another standard or average user of this weapon because she's not fast enough. I mean, she can be fast with some kind of buff from the supporter or the green build, but she's not the kind of character that likes to abuse this weapon, even though she can if you dedicate to it. As for Free Kill Samael, this one is extremely good. Well, not extremely good, but rather extremely fun. You can use this for ulti spam or weapon active builds. It is worth trying. I won't say worth investing, but worth trying because it is very fun to just gain a ton of particles thanks to the basic enhancer and supporters and just spam this skill and deal a ton of damage. It is nice. As for the SRs, we have Photon Arrow Overheat with trade damage. It is probably the best weapon that she had. When the competition is not that good, the Renewal weapon becomes just the default. It is not the fact that it is a busted weapon, but rather that Sora didn't have too many weapons to use in the first place. She didn't have a Sakura weapon, a seasonal pack weapon, anything really that could compete for the best in slot. So basically, the new Renewal weapon is the best weapon just because of the lack of competition, not because it is extremely busted, which it is pretty good. It says, when using a skill, 2 Fox fire shots, fires 2 Fox fire shots and deals damage equal to 180% of attack. Okay, so just by using any skill, no matter the build, you will be able to apply stacks. That's nice. And if you use Firefox on your skills, they will reach max stacks faster. Then increases damage by 15%, up to 30%. That's just a 30% damage increase. That's a Stella just cause. That's nice. Increase penetration by 20%, always flat, no matter the number of copies. That's also pretty good. It is the most solid weapon she has. And it is good that this is not the thing that makes the Renewal busted. It is just another thing you can add to take advantage of Sora. And I like that. Because the main appeal of Sora is not that, but rather the whole Renewal. I love what they did. And now, let's do a couple runs on Tower. And yeah, we're gonna do floor 110 because Sora can. So, let me show you. We're gonna start with this one. That's the farming one. So, let's start with Red. So, first of all, yeah, I do have the weapon. I was lucky and I got her on the land banner. 1 copy. So, I said, okay. So, I also pick another one with the monthly ticket from what's the name? Total War. Yeah, Total War. And I pick the pack, so I have this at 4 out of 5. Maybe next month I'll be able to pick the copy, or maybe I'll get another random copy later. Who knows? But this is a very good weapon. And I have whatever weapon over here. This one 4 out of 5, this one 5 out of 5. Plus 15, plus 13. Critical damage increase Magatamas on the main, and whatever attack Magatamas on the subslot to increase his stats. As for skills, we're going triple color. I thought it was red, but it's triple color. So obviously we use Celestial Fox, Chosen, and Fox Flame. Why this? Because these are the ones that benefit from having triple color. Because Chosen activates on the main. This activates with every color, and this activates no matter the color. So that's what we do over here. Then we're gonna use the Celestial Fox Sora. It gives like 80% damage increase when you have max stacks of this. It is amazing. We also are going to use Bright and Rose just because it's a generic supporter that you can equip. And Fuyusuki because this stage has mobs. That's why. Stats of the customs, stats of the stat training, and let's do the run. Honestly, it is impressive what Sora can do now. She became like a second Astaroth. Maybe even better than that. It is just amazing, and I love it. So yeah, let's see. I'm just going to use my skills and deal damage. Yeah, and I was able to deal with the bulky enemy. Just like that. Now, I need Celestial Fox. And then dash attack, if I may. Yeah, dash attack. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I mean, look at that damage, God. Did my stacks get removed somehow? My Fuyusuki stacks? What happened with them? Is this a glitch? Well, I don't know, but I think that I can manage. Okay, like that. Or maybe they are invisible for some reason. Okay, just like that. And look how she deletes everything. God. Disgustingly OP. And at the same time pretty good. Yeah, I love what they did to Sora. She's just too broken. I mean, the weapon does help. I won't deny that. But you don't need it. You don't need it. She is very good now. Particularly if you have their right supporters. Some limited, some F2P. Like, use Lilim. Lilim is an excellent F2P option for her. I didn't even use the active, but I could have used the active. So, anyways. That was the first build, the mix build. Let's go with the next one. Over here, we're gonna see only pure color builds. Only these builds. I don't have too many. But it is more than enough. So, the weapons are not going to change, nor the Magatemes. As for skills, we're gonna be using Yudachi, because it is a corresponding color, and we want this skill. We use Chosen to increase speed, and I'm using Grudge because I can. Though, if you don't feel comfortable with this, you can change Grudge for Foxfire so that you have HP recovery. But I can because of the massive criticals that I'm going to do. She's going to delete everything just before we are able to deplete all our HP. So, Fuyusuki, of course, Barretta, and Asusa. Asusa just to help with Chris consistency because I don't have everything 5 out of 5 plus 15. So she's gonna help out on that. And having her on the main also gives me a damage buff. So it is just what I need. So we start by evading. And after we evade, I just have to use this skill and it is done. It is done, just like that. Okay, and we do the same. Evade. And look at that. Look at the damage. Well, it doesn't seem that impressive for Murasaki because she's still alive. But what if I do this? Like, each hit is 2.5 million. And I didn't have the Flare of Grudge buff. So let's use the buff. We just evade. And kaput, 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 kaput. 5 millions? Pretty easy, right? I mean, who wouldn't? God. Yes, 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 yes. Just like that. And I evade. and I reposition, and I use Chosen to clear the wave, and I use my skills, and done. Done, pretty easy. Yeah, I am exhausting my HP, I won't deny that. But, I mean, who is it going to win? The enemy or me? Let's see. Make your bet, make your bet. I mean, I'm not even abusing the debuff in this case because I'm doing so much damage. I mean, abusing. Now, we start by evading, yeah, properly, repositioning, using the skill. We use the active. And done. Come on, just like that. Nice. Kaput, 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 kaput. Yeah. As you can see, I didn't even need HP recovery because of the disgusting amount of damage she can deal. I mean, she's really, really good. When you put all those multipliers together, she's something else. Now, Blue Sora is just a little bit different from all the others. Yes, you can go hyper offensive, but she also benefits from going a little bit tanky. So you might as well use tankier supporters. So we have over here the pure color skill for blue. Binding Fox Flame, because as I mentioned, this is an excellent counter that increases your damage, gives you control of the enemy, and you can just recover HP afterwards. And Flare of Grudge, just because of the buff, to deal a ton of damage. So, the following three. As I mentioned, you can equip anything that makes you tankier. And since she's protect, we have a couple options. Let me show you. So, number one, we have over here Phantom Mizuki Shiranui. She's a good option because she increases damage, she gives you HP, she increases your damage even further. You can also equip, of course, you can equip Kurenai, yes. But you have to abuse your active constantly. Honestly, it is not the greatest synergy, but you can use it just if you want it and you don't have anything else. For a human team, you can use Rin if you have partners. There's also the option to use over here Nana and also Butler Asagi. Yeah, those are pretty good options. Over here we have Anuros and Lilim. So let's see what this build does. Pretty similar to the previous one. You just have to let yourself be punished with an attack and then you counter. Then you use your skill and delete everything while recovering HP. My god, I mean, how busted can it be? They did great for this renewal. They honestly did great. That were the good news about the update. I mean, with all that has happened, it is good that there's something nice about the update. And that's Sora. Come on, attack. Yes, like that. Just like that. Kaput. Yeah. She's just disgustingly good. I love it. I love what they did to Sora. Because she was just unimpressive before. She did what she was supposed to do. Some skills were awkward. But now she's really broken. She's a new kind of Astaroth. I mean, we'll have to do evaluations on her damage to see if she outperforms Astaroth. Okay, we just evade. And with those buffs, I hit. Perfect. What I love about blue is that you don't have to worry about HP. It is just that good. While you're able to equip Flare Grudge. That's really, really nice. Done. And the basics are pretty powerful. Even the natural basics. Thanks to the AoE, the piercing capabilities and such. God, is it good. Now we start by evading, then counter, oops, counter, and then skill. You see, one hit Kirara. Well, something like that. Yeah, it is great. I mean, yeah, all the other multipliers that I have do matter to some degree. Let me see. Do I have something equipped over here? No, I have the name of Uma. I have one leader skill, or no, one formation, supporter formation, and I'm gonna keep doing the runs on the other videos with one supporter formation and basically the name of Uma always on tower, because I want this to be doable for newer players. Yes, you do need investment. You do need. My Sora is very strong because it has all of these, but I mean, you will reach that point in the future, definitely. Now, we're missing one color. Can you guess what it is? Yeah, it's green! Green with LAN, of all things. So, let's check. Same weapon as always. Obviously, we go with God's Mouth, and we use Chosen and Flare of Grudge. You can change Chosen for whatever skill that you want, honestly. It is not that big of a deal. But it is the one that I recommend, because you decide when to activate it easily. And now, let's check the supporters. Again, we use Sora, because of the generic damage increase that it is enormous. We use Nanao, because of the generic damage increase for range attacks. And LAN. LAN is going to give us cooldown reduction, and this effect benefit the most skills that have a huge cooldown reduction. And guess what? We do have one of those. Well, we don't. This is only 14 second cooldown, and basically with the skill training, with my awakening, with all the things that I have, and LAN is going to be reduced to 7 seconds. That's extremely fast. And thanks to the fact that it also provides a small skill buff, it is not as if you don't have a damage support increase. You also have some damage, which is really, really nice. So, let's just delete everything. We want to evade and then God's Mouth, and we that's all we need to do, honestly. We don't need to do the Chosen, but we will do it. Kaput. And Chosen. And done. And we have the cooldown again. Even before the animation. And kaput. Chosen. Yeah, Chosen is there so that I'm able to apply the debuff constantly to the boss. Yep, just like that. I mean, yeah, I'm exposed. Yeah, I do not have HP recovery. If I'm not mistaken, it was a pretty risky clear last time. I had low HP. And just like that, damage. Yep, damage. Yeah, basically, the one that is risky is Nagi. She's the one that can be devastating. Let's see if I don't screw things up. But I could just change Celestial Fox Sora for another supporter like Misaki, the green Misaki, that gives me HP recovery on the active. So the first thing we do is evade, just like that, and we use the skill, and we evade again because now it's risky. God, oops. Ooh, the debuff. Can I? Will I? I just reposition. I do a couple hits, and I reposition, and I use my ulti. And it is done. No! Oof. That was close. Okay, yeah, okay. That was not wise, but you can correct that on the build pretty easily by just equipping, instead of this, which actually is hard to get for the most part, you can just equip Akane. It's 30% less damage to bosses, and I think that is like 50% less damage to enemies in general. But you have an active that gives you HP recovery, so it's still a pretty useful supporter, and you can take advantage of this. So be sure to use it. So overall, how does this renewal stack to the other renewals? It is one of the greatest, guys. It is one of the best renewals we have received. The weapon is busted, yes, like every renewal weapon. But in Sora's case is kind of special because she hasn't received too many weapons. Let me just show you. On the collection part, on the weapons section, if we filter Sora, SR and UR, we have the pack weapon, which is trash. We have the Sakura weapon, which is whale. We have Freikugel, the PvP, the Momochi weapon. We have the demonic weapon, and this. We don't have the decisive weapon. We don't have any seasonal pack weapons. We don't have, not even the we have the snake weapon. We don't even have the snake weapon for Sora, which gives particles, or a summer weapon. We don't have a Christmas weapon. We don't have anything for Sora. Poor Sora has been forgotten for too long. That's why, even though some may say, no, that's too boss, they just want to sell us a weapon. Well, honestly, she doesn't have many options, so it's fine if you pick this one. It is not the most busted because, well, it is the most busted right now, but just because there weren't many weapons for Sora to begin with. And it's good to pick something that actually is useful, rather than just be there and have a niche effect, or be unimpressive overall because Sora doesn't perform well with that weapon. Or, I mean, she can perform well, but she is no Nagi. She's no Momochi weapon abuser, if you know what I mean. So, anyways, should you get Sora after the renewal? I would say yes, but first pick some PvP weapons, prepare them, level them up, give them enchantment, and also work on your awakening skills, because Sora can be frail if you don't just kill everyone right away. What you can do to mitigate that is equip good F2P supporters. I mean, thank God Blue has a ton of defensive options for Sora. I just mentioned some of them. We also have, I mean, you can equip Akina, but you don't need her. You can equip Nana. Nana, great supporter. You can equip Rika. You can equip Asagi. You can equip Haru if you're facing a human on the main. You can equip the where is Fairy Sakura. Even though you don't have a familiar, you do appreciate the damage reduction. You can equip Keito because she's going to ensnare the enemies, and that's gonna give you advantage with Sora. So yeah, she's just amazing after the renewal. I love what they did to this one, because the renewal did a lot of changes. They didn't change how she functions, but rather how she performs. They changed the effects. This, instead of being a reflective skill that reflects part of the damage that you are dealt with, now it buffs you. It is the best decision they could have done. And this one now, it has a synergy with blue, which is the color that heals you, which means you actually want to get hit. Now we're incentivized to take advantage of this, because you get a snare to control the enemy and a damage buff to deal more damage with your healing skill. So it is great. It is amazing. But let me know in the comments what you think about the renewal. Let me know in the comments if you like what they did, if you disagree with what they did, if you got the weapon, if you skip it, if you are going to buy this character. Let me know everything that you want to say, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.